It's terrible. So our prayers go out to that family. It's terrible.
It is sad.
It is. No one should be dying in these protests. They're supposed to be something you stand up for, not get run over for.
I agree.
It's crazy.
But I need to ask this question, and this is going to go against the grain of a lot of people. It may piss one of our 4 listeners off. I don't know. But why is the FBI going after him for civil rights violations? It's just fucking murder.
Well, it was during a protest. I guess they're going after that.
But how does that violate someone's civil rights?
Because they blocked their way of protesting. So
they're blocking a street.
You're absolutely right.
Like, I get it. It's wrong. I'm not saying that he wasn't 1,000% wrong for doing it. Taking a life is horrible. But where are we coming up with civil rights protests? Is that just to appease some I don't even want to say far, some special interest group, which is, in my opinion, the problem with this entire fucking country.
Absolutely.
The special interests have ruined it, and everybody needs to be catered to, and everybody needs to be pampered. Mm-hmm. And, in fact, today, I think it was today, Trump was quoted as saying, George Washington was a slave owner. Are we taking down statues of George Washington?
No, well, let's not jump ahead here. I mean, the whole protest was due to a Robert E. Lee statue they wanted taken down, and white supremacists and neo-Nazis, which, again, I completely hate them. I think those people should not be allowed to protest. But, again, this is America, and that's what America does. We let people speak when they shouldn't speak, unfortunately, like us.
Yes.
I mean...
much like us.
The whole thing is it's a sad thing, especially seeing all those... Nazi flags walking around, people saluting and doing the Nazi salute, which is out of control because, we had a full-blown world war over that shit.
Yeah, it's not what America's about.
It's not. Can you imagine what these World War II vets that are watching TV, seeing this, how they must feel?
People who were actually at Normandy and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
The beaches.
I'm like tearing up right now. Like this is something that really bothered me. This whole protest thing. I mean, I hate to get real, in the show where we're supposed to make people laugh, but it is so wrong. I mean, listen, I get it, freedom of speech, get to march, whatever. They should all be thrown into a fucking helicopter and shipped over somewhere, or just dropped in the ocean. That aggravates me. But the whole thing is they did get a proper permit. They were able to do everything. They did everything they were supposed to, and they had the right to do it. Now, what the news and everyone left out, or they're getting into now, is that I believe the Black Lives Matter movement and Antifa showed up. Don't even go there. It's anti-fascism. So they were fighting the fascists, white people. So yeah, but they didn't have permits. They just showed up during again.
I'm laughing because he said Antifa, not because it's funny content.
Well, such a dick. But they showed up and they charged at them, or they stood in their way and blocked it, and it turned into a fucking nightmare. Should have just stayed out of it, let them do their thing, and it would have been over with. Again, I don't support them. I think they're terrible. And then, it's just so funny, though. We need to look at the real problem here is that there's the left and the right. And then there's the extreme left and the extreme right, which is, in my opinion, the Black Lives Matters movement and Antifa on the left, extreme left, and then the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists on the far right. Then there's us in the middle that live our everyday lives, do what we got to do. Listen, Trump won. We don't like it. In 4 years, let's see how he does. Kick him out. And we could bitch about it. We could complain about it. But we should be able to talk about it. And then you have these two groups.
We should be adults and be able to accept
exactly. It is what it is. Okay? No matter how bad he is, how stupid he is not going to do anything, in my opinion, because there's too many people that run this country, and it's not the president, I feel. He's just a puppet. Too many other people that can talk him off the ledge, or not even just do it. And don't make that face.
I don't think anybody can talk him off the ledge.
But I'm saying, you think if he one day woke up and said, I want to blow up the entire world, that they're going to be like, okay, he's the president. We got to do what he says. I don't. That's my thing with this.
It depends on who he has in place.
Again, nobody.
He's going to be. He and his closest inner circle are going to be in a bunker.
Well, his inner circle is his family, because that's who he.
They're going to be in a bunker.
It doesn't matter.
Live in the dream.
The person who has to push the button will not push the buttons. It happens all the time in Hollywood movies. It's real.
It must be real.
It must be real. But what I'm getting at is again, this happens, and this is where I kind of respected Trump a little bit more than I normally do. Was he came out and he said, "I condemn all acts of violence in any way or form on Saturday." Okay. Immediately, people were like, "He is not condemning white supremacists and neo-Nazis." Okay.
And the white supremacists ran with this, no?
They ran with it in the way of saying, you better remember who got you into office, which isn't true. I don't think every white person was a white supremacist or neo-Nazi, just like every black person is not in the Black Lives Matter movement.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they're claiming that they're the reason that he got into office. But the thing is, he didn't have the facts. It just happened. Especially that whole thing with Heather Heyer getting run over by by the apparent neo-Nazi, and he didn't have the facts. Now every other politician in the past has come out immediately, said something stupid, and they got criticized later on saying he said it without or she said it without knowing the facts. He then on Monday came out and said, which again we'll never know now because everyone's a fucking. He
doubled down on it.
Well, no, today he doubled down on it. But yesterday Monday he came out and what's today? Tuesday?
I don't know.
Whatever. Monday he came out and said, we condemn, all acts of violence from neo-Nazis, white supremacists. They're bad people, and they're going to be dealt with. Okay. That should have been, everyone should have been like, okay, good. That's all we wanted to hear. Because you know what? And I hate to bring him up because he's not in office no more, but whatever. He still hasn't said anything about Islamic terrorism, all that shit that happened. He never blamed that, or the Black Lives Matter movement, the guy who shot up all those cops in Dallas. It's so funny to me that these people, like, you can't please these people, left or right. I'm talking the extreme left or the extreme right. I'm not just blaming them. It's just out of control with this fucking bullshit. But
it just proves the split that this nation is.
It really is.
Severely divided.
And I listen to some. I look up things online. I read some things once in a while because it's hard for me to read words. But they keep saying how this is a setup from people trying to keep the country divided and stuff like that. I'm really starting to feel that. Like, this is...
Where's the gain? What's the end game of having a split country other than the country toppling?
Just keep the rich, and the poor. That's really what it is.
With a divided country, there is no...
Yes, the middle class is fighting. Instead of going to work, they're going to protest. I'm sorry.
Who's making the money for the rich people?
Overseas, I guess. They want Trump out. They want someone in there to make all the overseas transactions and shit come back. They won't listen. Everything in this country was going overseas. It's starting to come back because of all the sanctions that we're getting rid of.
Brexit.
Well, that's different. That's Britain.
Is it?
Yeah, it's. Well, it's the same. No, you're right.
Overseas.
I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah. No, I thought you were saying something else. No, yeah, that's what happened over there. I mean, and that's what they want. I mean, now it's happening in California. Did you hear about that shit?
Now they want to secede?
Yeah. Cal-X, they're calling it. They had this guy talk. They had a guy talk about it, and I think it was Tucker Carlson was talking about it, and he's like, oh, great, yeah, that's a great idea. All right, who thought of this type of thing? And he's like, what about all the military bases that America has in California? He's like, oh, they could stay there. He goes, you're going to have thousands upon thousands of U.S. troops in your own country. Well, if they pay for it. He's like, he goes, what about your border policies? Oh, we let everybody in. He's like, so these people are so stupid. You know what I mean? It's just...
It's people just having knee-jerk reactions,
Yeah.
not thinking things through and not looking at the bigger picture. And everyone in this country needs to do that.
Yeah, well, whatever. So anyway, that was... Yeah,
Change that topic.
Let's change that topic. I got nothing.
Thank God.
No, I'm just kidding. So let's move on to movies and funny stuff.
There's that hunky man again.
Mm-hmm. Robert Pattinson, or what's his name? Pattinson, the guy
Very good,
from what's
Jimmy
what's
Jack.
that kid's girls movie? True Blood? No.
Oh, the vampire flick. Yeah, him.
Yeah, one with sparkly skin. Well, apparently he was doing a movie, and one of his jobs in the movie was to masturbate a dog. I believe. I didn't read the full thing here.
Yeah, that couldn't be.
But yeah, he refused. So PETA is applauding him for doing this.
How does one masturbate?
How do you?
Dog?
Yeah, I mean, do you? Does it work?
Let me just go on the record here and be very clear. Yes, I'm an animal lover. PETA, you're fucking wackos.
Well, I mean, regardless of PETA, I mean, they were like, they were probably like, what? Good for him. All right, yeah, I guess, yeah. You know,
Who wants to jerk off a dog? All right, now that I could say.
No, I mean, how do you do it? I mean, what?
I have no idea.
I mean, really,
We need
why
Rob
are
for that one.
why are they applauding him? I mean, that's just common sense. If you were an actor, I don't care how much money. Hey, listen, Robert, Booby, baby,
Bubby, can we talk?
we need you to do something for us. It's going to be amazing. Oscar nomination right now. Jerk this dog off.
I'll pass, thanks.
Yeah, I don't need a statue. So you,
Why? What? Let me ask you this question. What is the movie about that he would need to do that to a dog?
they really didn't come out with the. They're just saying he's filming right now a movie. They didn't come out to details. A movie, and because they're focusing on the fact that he did not
So
masturbate
either
a dog.
this is mega hype to promote the movie in advance.
Sure, why not?
Or they're legitimately wacko asking him to do that. Or they're using a fake dog dick.
What's what I mean? Like you can't even jerk off a real person, like a person in a movie.
Oh, I disagree.
Okay, let me rephrase that. You can't do it on film.
Oh, I disagree.
Oh God,
It's called pornography.
yeah, well, that's not really whatever. You're a jackass.
Thank you.
But he drew the line. He's like, I'm not going to jerk this dog off. So good for you.
Is he not a lover?
Does it matter? I mean, I like animals, but I don't love them. But I wouldn't jerk off a dog.
Look, PETA just needs to relax. You know what? I'm gonna turn this right around. This goes back to the PETA people when we talked on our last episode or the episode before about the animal activists throwing the guy's fish back in the water because it's hurting the fish and it's not right to do to fish because they have feelings and it hurts and yada yada yada.
I don't know. Yeah.
Is there not something you were telling me about cutting grass?
Yes. Grass actually gives out the smell of grass, that freshly cut grass scent that everyone loves, is actually them screaming for help. So plants do feel, Jeff. They
feel.
They
so
feel.
we shouldn't cut our grass anymore.
No, you
because
shouldn't.
it's not
You've seen that
appropriate.
happening. I hope that's going to happen one day.
Ooh.
It's happening.
Oh boy.
Sure. Anyway, I looked it up real quick so Rob doesn't write us another nasty email. The movie's called Good Time. It comes out, I guess, soon, but I guess they cut that scene out.
The grass cutting?
No, with Robert Pattinson. Pattinson. He jerks off a dog in the scene. The movie's called Jerk Your Dog Off, and he loves the movie.
The good time. Whack your dog. It's good.
Yeah, the good times. When do you ever have to jerk a dog off when it's called a good time?
Brian, eat my poo.
So yeah, so
It's a really bad Stewie. Sorry.
No, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't good either.
Well, that's that.
And yeah, that wraps it up. Okay.
Yeah,
Good talking to you, folks.
Good
Check,
talking to you.
please.
So we brought nothing to the table this episode. I'm sorry, people. I feel this was a lackluster.
I just want to
episode.
put it out there. This is a hobby of ours, but we really do try and do a good job. And I've no shit been looking to try and find topics that I thought were like worth speaking about for the past, I don't know, literally 2 weeks now. And I've texted James many times like, dude, I can't find shit. I can't find shit. So if you have any ideas or shit, please send an email. Love to hear it. Help us out a bit, would you? You fucking slackers.
Yeah, no, it ain't happening.
Thank you.
You're an idiot.
No, I'm just kidding. We don't have. We're running out of time here. We've been going for a while. Again, a lot of shit's happening in the world today. Bad things. It's just.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, it's a bad time.
I make things go boom boom.
Hopefully by next episode there's some nice things to talk about, because right now it's just, this world is depressing and I don't even want to be a part of it anymore. There's so much crazy shit going on. Crotch charms, hobby horse tournaments. It's just
Crotch.